What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here, and welcome to Afternoons Delight. Let's get to it, y'all. Back doing Dynamite this week, man. Do apologize to my AEW fans on the channel that I haven't been putting up content the last couple of weeks. It's been kind of tough, you know. You got WrestleMania season that was winding to a close, so I want to make sure I focus in on that. Had my other priorities on the channel, like One Chicago and stuff like that. So just wasn't really time to do AEW. I'm a one-man crew over here, you know what I'm saying? Don't nobody pay me to work more extra than what I need to, so I'm a one-man crew, and I treat myself that way, you know what I'm saying? I don't try to go overboard and tire myself out trying to get content up, but I do appreciate y'all, and, you know, I watch AEW anyway, so why not just, you know, continue to roll with this? But this week, you know, AEW got a lot of criticism this week, deservedly so, for the way the Punk video went. That's what we're talking about in this video right now. Now, it's 2 days later. I'm not going to really do like other channels did. I'm not going to really, like, you know, go overboard with the criticism and stuff like that. Just sort of wanted to get my thoughts on some of the updates and stuff since the video has been out. And obviously it wasn't as, like, bad as, like, we thought it was going to be. Coming in, you know, didn't really show anything where, it definitely didn't show anything like when Tony Khan was scared for his life. We know that for sure. We did get a chance to see how the fight went between Jack Perry and CM Punk. The only thing that I will say is that, and I didn't even need to see the video to even know this, was that CM Punk was definitely not a victim, you know, in this situation. Like, he painted himself out to be in an interview. But I had already known that. I said, you know, that was all some bullshit that I was hearing on the Ariel Helwani show about him being a victim. Being this, like, guy that just, he came to, nah, it was on both sides. It was Jack Perry and CM Punk and stuff like that. And, you know, all the stuff that had just been hanging over the whole situation since the year before with All In 2022 with the fight with the EVPs and Kenny Omega. It was one of those chapters that just needed to be closed. And I think they, you know, even back then, I said they made the right decision to fire Punk at the time and go from there. The one thing that I did learn from the whole thing, because now this whole thing was to set up the, well, not really set up because it's not the start of the feud, but really to just, like, play into the storyline of the feud between the Young Bucks and FTR, who are going to be going after each other at Dynasty next weekend in the tag team match. And, you know, the one thing that I did learn was when the Young Bucks were actually talking about Jack Perry and how they were actually talking good about Jack Perry. They were like, you know, if you get into a fight with Jack Perry, there must be something definitely got to be wrong if you fight with Jack Perry. You know, they know how he is. He's a SoCal kid. And the thing is, you know, even from my own personal experiences, and, you know, so a lot of SoCal people, especially in certain areas, not particularly in Los Angeles, the city part, but like places around SoCal, maybe like, you know, Orange County or something like that, you know, Santa Barbara, you know, Venice Beach, you know, little parts outside of LA, man, you know, people are typically laid back in that part. So Jack Perry looks like he's kind of like a laid back dude. So I wouldn't really, it was really surprising when all that news came out about him. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, something didn't add up with that whole thing. But people have their bad days, man. You know, people snap. I think that's what happened with Jack Perry. I'm not saying Jack Perry's innocent. I'm just saying he probably snapped. And he was probably tired of Punk. I don't know. It was something going on back there, you know. You know, and he just had a bad day. Now, what's surprising is they haven't brought him back. But it's good to see that he still has the support of guys like the Young Bucks, who have power in the company. And some of the other guys probably as well. I'm pretty sure they're not the only ones who still think highly of Jack Perry. So, I heard Jack Perry's still on the roster, though. But I think he's been in Japan from what I heard. I think that's where he's been. But hopefully the door is still open for him to return. I don't think it's as bad as Punk. Like, his whole situation, I think, you know, when he's ready to return, I think they'll allow him to return. He was doing, and the one thing that pains me about the whole Jack Perry situation, he was doing good work as a heel, leading up to that point. He got a little reckless in the match against Hook, but he was actually doing pretty good work leading up to that point, man. So I hope to see him back in AEW. And another thing that I want to know is he still with Anna Jay? Anna Jay was on the show. I'm going to talk about her later on tonight, later in the videos, because she had a match against Mariah May. Is he still with Anna Jay? If anybody knows that, put that down in the comment section. But you know, I hope to see him back. But for the whole thing is, man, for AEW, man, I just wish they didn't show the video. CM Punk was laughing about it. You heard the crowd. They were supporting him. CM Punk has his fans. Like, that's the one thing you definitely can't take away from CM Punk. He has his fans. He's forever going to have his fans. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people been fans of him for years, man. So they got a natural attachment to him. You're just not going to take that away from him. So I just think AEW really shouldn't even have paid it no mind. I think they would have actually looked a lot better if they didn't actually respond back to what CM Punk said the week before. You know, it just moved on and just focused in on their product, man, because they do got Dynasty coming up next weekend. So, hey, if part of it was get the ratings up, they actually did accomplish that because they were back over 800,000 views this week. So it did do that though. But I think coming out of it, I do want to see the numbers for next week to see if people, because if they're back to the levels they were the week before, then it didn't hurt AEW too much. You know, if they're back to like the 750,000 level that they were at before. But if they're under 700,000 the week next week, they might have did a lot of damage. You know, so I'm definitely interested to see where the ratings are going to be next week. But AEW really just needs to focus in on themselves, book a little better. You know what I mean? I don't think the book is horrible at AEW. I think a lot of people just, I don't know. A lot of it to me is like WWE fanboys making a big deal out of the booking. Is it a perfect product? No. But it's a lot of good things that go on. I love Will Ospreay's promo. Love the stuff that they're doing with Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland. That's actually been the greatest thing in AEW right now. Julia Hart stuff. While I don't think she's been the best TBS champion, I think the stuff that she's doing, especially lately, has been really good. Stuff with Sky Blue. This whole Mercedes Moné thing is pretty good right now too. Sounds like they got something good brewing with Trent Beretta going turning heel. You know, and whatever he whispered into Chris Statlander's ear this week, that might be something to keep an eye on. You know, they continue to have some good matches here and there, man. But and then low key for me, man, I've been interested in the Saraya stuff with her brother. I know a lot of people don't probably care about that, but I like that little feud right there between Ruby Soho and what's his name? Damn, I was about to say Matt Menard, but not Matt Menard. Cool Hand Luke. Angelo Parker. That little feud right there has been pretty good. So it's been some good things with AEW. It ain't been like all bad. You know what I mean? I think, you know, they could get a little better here and there, but so can the WWE. So the WWE fans act like they have the perfect product, man. That was, to me, they still got a lot of holes. They got a lot of holes. That was WrestleMania. And a lot of that was The Rock. Look, if it wasn't for The Rock, man, I don't think people be clamoring over WrestleMania like the way they did this past weekend. Because there was a lot. There was a lot of stuff from night one. It was just not that good. Night two was the better night. But, you know, for the stuff that's going on afterwards, I don't know. Because I still believe right now the best product out there is NXT. I think NXT has been the best. Shawn Michaels has had that damn thing. And people continue to try to ignore NXT. You know what I'm saying? But NXT has been pretty good. TNA I can't speak on because I haven't seen it since Scott D'Amore left. I only saw like 1 or 2 episodes since then. I'm trying to just take a break from TNA and then let things settle in, and I'll probably tune back in this summer. But TNA did have a pretty good product for the last few years with Scott D'Amore. I'll say like the last 5-6 years, they've been doing really good work. Maybe even a little longer than that. But, you know, all the products right now are not perfect. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody needs a little bit of work. So nobody's, you know, doing that well where, you know, they could just say, hey, you know, they're doing this and doing that. So, but I'm going to just tell, like, my last little thing is to say to people, because I know, like, all the negative stuff that's been coming out from this. Sounds like most people don't care, like, even the wrestlers don't really care. I just think AEW, all they had to do is just move on. And I think for AEW fans, don't let this get to you, because if you've been enjoying everything else about the product, ignore the noise. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even going to pay no attention to this and make a video about it, but I did make a promise in my Raw video that I was going to talk about it. So I felt like I had to talk about it. I didn't include any footage in the beginning either, because people said they've been getting like DMCA strikes from posting any other footage from the fight. So I just said, you know, I'm not even going to post anything in the beginning and just go from there. But yeah, I mean, like, if you're an AEW fan, man, you've been enjoying the product, or just a pro wrestling fan in general. Like, it's not even like you specifically an AEW fan, but you just enjoy pro wrestling. Just keep doing that, you know. That's all we can do. That's the only thing we can control right now, is to just do what we do best, and let's just keep watching wrestling, man. So that's all I got to say about it, man. Go on ahead and get this video a like, share, subscribe. Don't let anybody try to kill AEW, man. You know, there's people out there that truly want AEW canceled and killed. You know what I mean? Instead of suggesting what AEW could do to help it, you know, to help the product out, you know. I don't think that, I think the one thing this wrestling industry doesn't need is another WCW situation. Because WCW's death actually slowly killed wrestling. WWE was holding ground for about a good, and then when the Chris Benoit death happened, that's when really wrestling just started, to me, pro wrestling just started to go downhill. Right after Chris Benoit died. But when WCW went away, that whole magic that they had from the late 90s and early 2000s, that shit bursted. You know, and we don't need that. We need to make sure the other companies outside of WWE are still around and doing well, man. We got to make sure that's the priority in this situation, man. We got to, man. We got to. But go ahead and give this video a like, share, subscribe, give me your thoughts down in the comment section. Let's get to the rest of these videos, man. Thank y'all for watching. After News to Light.